Montana's 2018 election less than a year away next November, but as MTN's Mike Dennison reports, the people who do politics in Montana are already gearing up for some epic battles on the election field.
When you ask party officials in Montana about their top priority for 2018, the answer comes as no surprise.
Our top priority is re-electing Senator Jon Tester.
Obviously, the Tester Senate race is a key target for us.
Democrat Tester is running for re-election to a third term in the U.S. Senate, and so far as many as 6 Republicans are vying for the nomination to take him on. National Republicans also are targeting Tester, as a Democrat in a state won big last year by President Trump. That means big money will be spent. But Montana State political science professor David Parker says a lot depends on the Republican opponent and whether they keep it competitive.
It's definitely a top 10 race in the country. I don't think it's a top 3 race. Whether or not it's going to be a $50–60 million race like it was in 2012, I'm not too confident yet that that's going to be the case.
The Tester race is the main event in next year's Montana elections. But there's also the re-election race of newly minted Republican Congressman Greg Gianforte, a pair of Supreme Court races, and 125 legislative contests. Already, 6 Democrats are competing to challenge Gianforte.
Gianforte is damaged, and we're going to take him out this time. I'm convinced that we're going to have a strong candidate coming out of the primary, and we're going after him.
Yet Parker says Gianforte is still the favorite in a state where Democrats haven't won this seat since 1994, unless...
I think Gianforte gets into trouble if there's a wave election generally in 2018. And the midterm right now is shaping up to potentially be a wave-type election where Democrats could do quite well.
That wave, of course, depends a lot on the popularity of President Trump. Montana Republicans see Trump as a plus and say they're happy to embrace the president.
Trump won by 20 points here, and we get calls every day. What are you doing to support the president?
Democrats, however, say Trump is energizing their forces as well.
We have more enthusiasm now, Mike, than I've seen in a very long time. So I think people are realizing that politics are not a spectator sport, and they are getting involved, and they're going to be there voting in this mid-cycle.
But the 2018 election also will turn on what candidates stand for. And State Republican Party Chair Deborah Lamb points to the GOP message of higher-paying jobs, lower taxes, and less regulation.
The message, I think, is the right message at the right time in Montana. As we've seen over the last few years, we now have 5 out of the 7 statewide and national elected candidates. Those are all Republicans.
Can Democrats stem that tide in Montana in 2018? That's one of the key stories to watch this coming election year. Tomorrow, we'll take a closer look at the money so far in the big Tester race. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison.
Thanks, Mike. Now, Montana candidates will not start filing for their races until January.